Y'all are on it. Doggone it. We back.
Let's go.
So, new footage just come out recently, right? And I wanted to look at it from this Joe Rogan podcast standpoint. So, new footage came out from the footage of Qnon Shaman. So, remember the January 6th incident? The insurrection and stuff like that? Where it was, so apparently they're showing, it was footage of people were walking them around and showing them where to go. Okay. People were showing them like a tour, and they were going in these spaces. So it wasn't just like they're barging and going crazy. People were showing them where to go. Officials, people that work for that location were showing them where to go.
Wow.
So, no, I don't believe that's how you handle business. And I don't believe that was a tyrannical government situation to go up and to storm the Capitol. I'm not for doing that. Neither I'm for black people going up and burning up stuff and rioting. I'm not for that. None of that stuff. It's other ways of going about to get your point across on either spectrum, whatever the situation is. And there's footage that went out showing this, and I want to see it from Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, let's go. Wow.
And then people might not agree with us. Some people in the comment section were for the storming of that. I'm not.
Yeah. No, but like once again, just like I said, you're not going to agree with every person's viewpoints all the time, and that's fine.
Correct.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Speaking of which, did you see the new video of the fucking Qnon Shaman being led through the Capitol building by police?
No. What happened there?
You know, there's this story of the violent insurrection.
Oh, yeah, of
that's
course.
the narrative,
It
right?
was, I mean,
By the way, let's just be real clear. You shouldn't break into the fucking Capitol building. You shouldn't be trying to overthrow the government. You shouldn't be trying to get out there and say that the election was false when you don't exactly know. You're just buying into it, and then you all invade the Capitol. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good look for America. It wasn't good for any of the people there.
Yeah. No,
nothing was good about January 6th. Let's be real clear.
It wasn't.
Right.
But
I agree.
when you watch the video of that guy being led around through the Capitol building by police, they're basically giving him like a tour. They're talking to him and hanging out with him. At one point in time, it's him, and there's like 6 police officers around him, and they're not arresting him. They're not throwing him to the ground. There's no violence at all.
Wow.
Like, I don't think what that guy did was good. I don't think what any of those people did was good. It wasn't smart to fucking barge into the Capitol and take pictures of your feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk. It's fucking stupid. It's a crime. But they were leading him around. Like, the cops were talking to him and hanging out with him. They weren't like arresting him immediately. It wasn't like he was this violent guy who broke in and started smashing things and fucked the government.
They stayed between the velvet ropes.
Watch the video.
Yeah.
See, have you seen the video?
No, I have not seen the video.
See if you can find it, because Tucker Carlson highlighted it on his television show, and now everybody's up in arms because it's coming from Tucker. But it should be coming from the New York Times too. It should be coming from everybody. It's just, this is video footage of this guy, and it's a thing that's different than what we're being told it is. We're being told that they barged in and fucking rah, and they overtook the Capitol, locked them up, put them in jail.
This seems edited, though. I'll be honest with.
Yes.
It's
definitely
both
edited.
teams edited it
Okay.
in various ways.
It's definitely edited. But when you see the video itself, you do see these cops walking around with this guy, and they're essentially, it's like they're giving him a tour. It doesn't seem like what we thought it was.
But the other thing is,
I thought it was like they broke in and then they fucking scared the cops away, and there was so many of them.
I thought that's
that
what
they
happened,
overtook
too.
the Capitol.
I thought that's
I'm
what
going to
happened.
get a lot of heat for this, and I don't care. Where was President Trump for these people? These are his strongest supporters. He did not stick his neck out for them in the slightest. He let them rot in jail.
Is that the one?
I can't tell because I'm not listening to it.
So here it is.
But it turns out there's quite a bit of video you haven't seen. And that video tells a very different story about what happened on January 6th.
They're fixing it.
1,000 hours of surveillance footage from in and around the Capitol have been withheld from the public. And once you see the video, you'll understand why. Taken as a whole, the video record does not support the claim that January 6th was an insurrection. In fact, it demolishes that claim. And that's exactly why the Democratic Party and its allies in the media prevented you from seeing it. By controlling the images you were allowed to view from January 6th, they controlled how the public understood that day.
Yeah.
They could lie about what happened, and you would never know the difference. Those lies had a purpose: They created a pretext for a federal crackdown on opponents of the Uniparty in Washington.
Our office wanted to ensure that there was shock and awe, that we could charge as many people as possible.
The first thing you notice from viewing the full video record of January 6th is just how many people entered the Capitol building that day.
Holy shit.
Hundreds and hundreds of people,
Wow.
possibly thousands, over the course of about 2 hours. The crowd was enormous. A small percentage of them were hooligans. They committed vandalism. You've seen their pictures again and again.
Yeah, that's what they
But
show.
the overwhelming majority weren't. They were peaceful. They were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers. Footage from inside the Capitol overturns the story you've heard about January 6th. Protesters queue up in neat little lines. They give each other tours outside the Speaker's office.
Wow.
They take cheerful selfies and they smile. They're not destroying the Capitol. They obviously revere the Capitol.
Really?
They're there because they believe the election was stolen.
Look at the
from them.
officer.
They
Look at the
believe
people.
in the system. Here's the man you've heard referred to as the Qnon Shaman outside the Senate chamber. These are not rioters. These are people who wandered over from a political rally.
We will not let them silence your voices.
After the rally,
They came from, there was a rally, and then they just went over to the Capitol. It made it seem like it was just planning to go straight to the White House.
Right.
they walked down Pennsylvania Avenue, where
The
organizers
Capitol.
had secured a federal permit to hold a legal rally on the grounds of the Capitol.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Once at the Capitol building, things began to get chaotic. Capitol police officers fired tear gas into the crowd. A few at the front of the herd broke windows. Someone opened the doors, and many hundreds of others just walked in.
They're gonna make that the story.
Of course, they did make it the story. And at the center of it, the
Was
single
that Alex?
most famous person arrested that day was a Navy veteran from Arizona called Jacob Chansley, often referred to as the Qnon Shaman.
The so-called QAnon Shaman. QAnon Shaman.
Someone named Q Shaman.
Jacob Chansley became the face of January 6th, a dangerous conspiracy theorist dressed in outlandish costume who led the violent insurrection to overthrow American democracy. For these crimes, Chansley was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison, far more time than many violent criminals now receive. What did Jacob Chansley do to receive this punishment?
Really?
To this day, there is dispute over
Is
how
he what he
Chansley
said?
got into the Capitol.
What?
4 years.
Wow.
But he said it like it was far more time than someone else that does.
A crime.
4 years? That don't seem like a lot of time.
Well, compared to if you went into the Capitol and they give you 4 years versus somebody who went and shot somebody, it's like that's a totally different weight of crime.
Right. Okay.
Capitol building. But according to our review of the internal surveillance video, it is very clear what happened once he got inside.
Look at them showing
Virtually
him
every
around.
moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides.
Wow.
Here's
Look at
video
him in
of
front of him.
Chansley
They're opening
in
the door
Senate
for him.
chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. He
Yo.
counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance
Look at
of
all those
unarmed
people.
Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down.
Look.
Chansley understood that Capitol Police were his allies. Video shows him giving thanks for them in a prayer on the floor of the Senate.
Yo.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building.
Contrast
Holy
the
crap.
reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th.
Oh, he's bald.
Indisputable facts recorded on video, some of which has never before been seen, with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, you burst into the United States, if he was dressed like bin Laden, would you have shot him?
Shoot him.
No.
Shoot him. It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here?
Right.
Not Jacob Chansley.
But
And the
why-
video
why are you
proves that.
shooting him?
But you would never have known from the media coverage.
The people sitting in the chairs.
Wild. Right? You're not supposed to go into the Capitol building. Granted.
I thought you at certain
Well,
times you are.
Not like that.
Yeah, not like that. Sure.
Not like that. But
True.
Okay.
when you see the people taking him around essentially on a tour, that's not what I thought it was.
Me either.
I just hope all the conservatives watching this realize how little appetite there is in the Republican Party for defending people like this. and thinking that Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump care about this is a delusion.
It's not even defending them. It's
Hey,
just
pause.
forget it.
I don't know. I need to do some homework.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just say I agree and support a statement that I need to do more research on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About it. Let's look at what actually happened. We didn't know that happened.
Right.
We had a version of it where it was just chaos and the cops ran away.
And the
I
cops
would
were
have never imagined this.
cops were murdered.
Yeah, I would have never imagined that this.
I'm shocked to see that. To be
That's
honest.
so wild.
And like to your point that it's not a bigger story, that it's fucking Tucker who's covering this.
It's just broken, and I think people are starting to pay attention to it now.
I don't think it's broken. I think it's by design. I think it's It's by design. It's not an accident.
No, I mean it just broke. I mean, like
oh yeah. Okay, story
it
just broke
got out in the
Okay,
world. I think it's really recent, and so I think people are just starting to recognize that it's not what you thought it was. It's not good to get in. It's not good, but they did clearly. You want to peacefully protest, you do it outside. You don't ever go into the fucking Capitol building. If someone smashes his door, don't enter behind it.
I don't see how not having him under house arrest wouldn't be infinitely preferable to putting him in jail, which is cheaper. Stay in your house.
And they're putting him in jail for 4 years.
Yeah, like what? Who's that? He's not violent.
For going on a
there's,
tour.
there's no
Right.
concern that he's going to kill someone or assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pled guilty. Of course he did.
Of course he pled down. What do you
if he
expect
doesn't
him
plead
to?
guilty, they give him 25 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was guilty. He was there.
Yeah,
he was trespassing.
100% guilty. He definitely should be. There should be some kind of punishment for doing that to make sure that people don't do that.
Well, wouldn't it be better if he did actually community service and help the community?
Yes, clean up.
I agree.
So what's crazy is they gave that man 4 years. Like I said, I'm against rioting and jumping and stuff. Totally against that. But we saw a video of the bus driver shooting, and the boy who tried to shoot at the bus officer for not stopping. You think they gonna get that? You think that boy gonna get 4 years in prison for shooting at the bus officer? I doubt it.
No, you mean longer?
He's gonna give him less.
Less?
He gonna get less.
Why you say less?
He gonna get less.
I was gonna say more.
He gonna get less time than a person that stormed into the Capitol or walked into the Capitol and was escorted through the Capitol.
Go fucking clean
Go
up garbage
clean up.
somewhere.
Yeah, go clean up the mall.
Yeah.
Like do that for like 4 years. Every weekend you have to go to the mall, clean up broken glass. Fine.
The problem is like with those kind of protest things, man. The mob has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
And if you're in that mob and you just follow along with it, and all of a sudden they have your fucking
But
face.
that didn't
on
even seem like the mob because it wasn't like they were knocking shit, pulling off of walls.
But that's also selective, right?
Sure, of course.
This is the thing. They're showing us only the good stuff. If we wanted to watch all of it, I think there's some insane amount of hours of footage, and this has only been recently released. So who knows what else we can see?
I think it's just very sad that we had these big hearings for a long time, and they must have had this footage and they sat on it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which brought me to a point of, so now when I'm looking at the news, I feel like I need to automatically go and find a reporter that I trust and see if they've covered that story.
Yeah.
Because we develop our opinions and ideals based off of what we see someone else says. So we're relying on someone else to give us the information.
Yeah. Correct.
So I feel like
That's why they
it
say
just
fake
had
news.
me thinking that I was like, okay, so now I need to go ahead and create another way that when I do look at the news, because we don't look at it very often, but we go back and do our homework on things that we want to react to and connect with you guys about. But now it's like, okay, I need to go back and check another source because
the
you
source
can't rely on the way the media is covering the story.
and they cover the way to make you feel a certain way and to make you hate what was done, and then
They
you
don't
see
give
another
you all the
video. It's
facts.
like,
They
wait
don't
a
give
minute.
you all the facts.
Feel
They don't
different
give
now.
you the story
Yeah.
the way it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's just like
I feel bad for those people because they were duped.
Yeah.
They really thought that like Trump had their back and this is okay, and we're America, like the whole little narrative.
I also
And-
feel bad for people like that guy saying, shoot him.
Why?
Yeah.
Because now if he sees this video, he's going to realize, like, oh,
No, he won't.
I was misinformed.
No way.
You
He
don't
will
think
double
so?
down. He will absolutely double down.
Really?
100%.
Capitol
an
Police
hour ago.
Chief blasts Tucker Carlson over misleading January 6 footage. Video aired by Carlson showed QAnon shaman Jacob Chansley accompanied by police, but not violence on the day rioters stormed the Capitol. And so what is he saying about it being misleading?
Fox spokespeople didn't respond to comment when asked.
Claimed by Carlson that Capitol Police served as tour guides for
They were
Jacob Chansley.
outnumbered,
The
okay.
horn-wearing QAnon shaman was outrageous and false, manager wrote. He said that the Capitol Police were badly outnumbered on January 6th and that those officers did their best to use de-escalation tactics to try to talk rioters into getting each other to leave the building. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, but that's still not the same.
Why are they opening doors for him?
That's still not the same narrative because is that de-escalation tactics?
I was wondering, is that what that was?
Take a look at it, but you guys got to leave.
Well, I was looking at it. I
Right,
thought maybe
that's what I was
that they were
thinking,
taking
man.
him
That's what
out,
they-
not in handcuffs, obviously, which maybe they should have if they thought he did bad, but leading him out of the building. That's why
Yeah.
the one cops didn't react to like he's taking him out. Maybe they're looking for an exit.
But it seemed like they were looking for an entrance because
but-
he was saying that he gave thanks to the
That's-
police
I
officers for
agree,
letting
that's
them
very
in.
confusing. Don't know
It
what's
seemed
going
very
on.
clear also that there was no possibility that he was going to be violent toward them. Like, they were
definitely
not
didn't seem
clearly
violent.
in fear of their
No.
lives or that he was going to swing on them or anything like that.
No, not at all. I mean, they were talking to him.
Yeah.
He thanked them. He gave a prayer and thanked them.
It's a very unfortunate thing. 4 years is no joke. 4 years.
It's a long fucking time.
That's a long time for that. That is a long time.
Carlson says they checked with the
That's a
Capitol
long
Police.
time.
There was a lady that got
Or in the
8
video.
years.
He said, we're happy to say their reservations were minor, and for the most part, they were reasonable. Capitol Police spokesman Tim Barber said that we repeatedly request that any clips be shown to us first for security review. So far, we have only been given the ability to preview a single clip out of the multiple clips that aired. So they didn't show them all of it. So they wanted...
His attorney didn't have that footage. Wow. Holy crap.
Chansley's attorney, through sentencing in November 2021, said he had been provided many hours of video by prosecutors, but not the footage which Carlson aired on Monday night. He said that he had not seen video of Chansley walking through Capitol hallways with multiple Capitol Police officers.
Wow.
What's
That could
deeply
change
troubling,
everything.
Watkins said Tuesday, is the fact that I have to watch Tucker Carlson to find video footage which the government has, but chose not to disclose despite the absolute duty to do so, despite being requested in writing to do so multiple times.
You can't. I'm not an attorney, but I know enough that if you're a prosecutor, you're holding evidence that could clear the defendant. That's not legal. Because discovery means you have to turn over all the evidence, not just things that will incriminate him.
It's ugly.
Wow. Can you imagine if this gets overturned? Or he
Right.
gets-
That's why I was curious.
Wow.
Yeah. It says Carlson's program conveniently cherry-picked from the calmer moments of our over 41,000 hours of video, manager wrote.
Yep.
The commentary
Wait, that
fails
long?
to provide context about the chaos and violence that happened before or during these less tense moments. Well, that's fair.
Sure.
Carlson previously produced a 3-part series in 2021 called Patriot Purge on the streaming service Fox Nation, which suggested the riot was orchestrated by Antifa groups, the FBI, and other government agencies, and was a false flag operation to discredit Trump supporters. But here's the thing. The FBI was asked if they used agent provocateurs on January 6th, and they refused to answer. I'm sure you've seen that footage.
Yes.
Yeah. And they know about that guy, Ray Epps, that was on the Capitol grounds saying, we got to go in there. And people are calling him a Fed, and nothing's happened to that guy. Nothing's happened to that guy. But the guy was clearly inciting these people to do something illegal, and they know who he is.
And they have it on tape.
So my question is, was at the time President Trump fully aware
These are
of when he was telling them to go march over there, to go over to the Capitol? Was it to peacefully? Because I heard his words say, did he say peaceful?
Peacefully.
He said peaceful. And maybe what happened was, although he said peacefully, people thought, oh, he's saying underlinedly, go ahead and cut up. That had to be. Or
How did
just
this-
like Ferguson. You remember Ferguson, Missouri, when the issue with who was it? Was it Mike Brown? It was Mike Brown. Where later come to find out, all these people were just people of Ferguson. Some of these people were paid to go start these riots. So that could have been the same thing that happened over at the Capitol. You could have had somebody was paid to start this up, tap into the emotions of the real people that really wanted change.
Okay.
And then boom, situations. We don't know the underlying. The government has so many things that they can do So, you know, that's what I'm just saying. So that was one of those things where I was kind of upset with Trump about, until listening to it again. He said peacefully go over there, but I still don't feel like he should have told him to go over there, period. That's one of the things I disagreed with him. I disagreed him on that, and it was one other thing that I disagreed. I don't think we should have told him over there, because they're in their emotions. So when people are in their emotions, they want to cut up.
Okay.
But when I was looking at somebody else who we follow, they were at the up there, but he was recording walk around. People weren't barging in; they were just people were protesting, saying what they want outside. But I didn't see people barging in, so they're making that the biggest thing.
Well, regardless, you don't try to overtake the Capitol. Yeah, you don't just barge in like that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, still. Like, I agree with what he said. It was like, you can't do that and expect there not to be any consequences.
I still don't agree that at the time President Trump should have told him to go over there. I don't think he should have told him to go over there, because they're going to put that back on him.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't know what the intent was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a tough one. I think those are two things that could hurt the possible hurt between the Fauci and then that thing. I think that's the two things that's been brought up from other conservative YouTubers that say that that could possibly hurt them. Yeah. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a nosedive, but comment down in the section below if you want some more. Man. We'll see you on the next one, man.
Yeah.
Bye.